Welcome, one. Welcome, all. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. And I'm going to need your help because it's time for, you know it,
T-minus 10,
liftoff. Let's
9,
go,
8,
amigos.
7, 6,
Come on.
5, 4,
3,
2,
countdown with
1,
me.
0.
Come on, baby, baby.
Ignition. Liftoff.
We got it.
Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. It's the show. Let's go.
Come on. Yeah. All right, amigos. All right. Welcome to another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. We're coming to you live here on Vaughn Radio. The one and only, el mismísimo, Vaughn Radio, where you can learn English 24/7, 365, a todas horas. All year long, all day long, all week long, we're here teaching you English with a little pizzazz. What? Pizzazz, con un poco de chispa, un poco de ganas, un poco de arte. A little pizzazz. Ya estamos con palabrones, pizzazz. And you can catch all the other amazing programs on Vaughn Radio. In fact, there's no better way to warm up for this show than to listen to Fitz's program, No Excuses. And if you don't listen to it, well then, honestly, you have, shall I say it? No excuses. He's the guy who trained all of us. So anybody who joined Vaughn in the last 15 or more years has joined Vaughn through Fitz's filter. Fitz and his team. And man, he showed us. He didn't tell us what a Vaughn teacher is. He told us and showed us what a Vaughn teacher is. And finally, my brothers and sisters, I saw the light. That's right, folks. All right. And if you want Vaughn classes, remember, you can go to our website. It's grupovaughn.com. If you're following on social media, then you'll know about the special deals we've got going on right now. We've got a new weekend camp, but it's Harry Potter themed. We've got Vaughn Groups, which is a huge hit. Do you know about Vaughn Groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn Groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn Groups are for you. That's right, folks. More information at our website, grupovon.com. And again, the easiest way is follow on social media, and you can ask about any of our materials or courses over there. Folks, it's time to remind you of this week's question of the week.
Question of the week.
That's right, amigos. It is question of the week here, and I've gotten a few answers already, so kudos to all of you who have participated already. That's Laura, Nudia, and David. And if you're thinking of participating, I don't know what you're waiting for. Well, you've only got until the end of the workday today, el día laboral. That's right. And it's a tough one today, but you guys have done a wonderful job so far with your answers. Folks, this is the opportunity you've been waiting for. This is an opportunity to express yourself in English, and I can help you. I can make adjustments. I can correct you. That's one of the hardest things to do in another language, to express our opinion. So if you want to do it and have me help you, and also share it with the rest of your classmates, participate in our question of the week. It's every Friday, and you can participate by sending me a 1-minute voice message, introducing yourself, and then answering the question. Of course, if you'd like to send a shout out to your fellow students, do it up. So this week's question: it's often said that ignorance is bliss. En la ignorancia está la felicidad completa. No, la dicha. Ignorance is bliss. Do you agree? Explain your answer. And if you'd like to participate, do it today. Send me a 1-minute voice message. You can record it on your phone, and you can send it right from your phone to alonso@grupovon.com. alonso@grupovon.com. I know it's a little bit deep this week, but I promise next week you won't have to do as much soul searching. We looked at this word yesterday. Soul searching is looking deep inside yourself for the answers, or whatever you're looking for in your life, amigo. So participate. It's a great way to work on speaking, which is, I think, the thing that most students don't have an opportunity to work on. They want to work on it the most, and it's the thing that they have fewer opportunities of. How often do you get to speak in English and express yourself? You listen all day. So this is your shot, your opportunity. Take advantage of it and participate in this week's question of the week. And now I need your participation for another section, my amigos. It's time for our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. It is our pop quiz only on the show with no name. And today we're going to take a look at something from Natural English. And Natural English is just one of the many materials you can pick up at the Von Tienda. You can pick them up in person, or you can go to vontienda.com. Either way, I highly recommend each and every one of our materials. It just depends on what you need to work on. So if you need to work on structures, grammar, things like that, well, we have books for that. In fact, we have one called English Grammar. And for 25 euros, you get the works, el completo, no? The works. And it even comes with audio. You've got another one from this series called English Pronunciation. And for 25 beans, another way to say 25 bucks, you can really get a handle on English pronunciation. But the one we're looking at today is not English grammar or English pronunciation. It is natural English. And how many chapters does it have? Good question. I thought you'd never ask. You want to take a guess? It has 120 chapters. Chapters where you'll look at English around the home, in the office, at the supermarket, and in all kinds of situations. So you'll look at, giving somebody bad news, receiving bad news, a death in the family. So, all the different situations life may throw at you. So is everybody ready? I want you guys to listen carefully right now. And what we're going to do is listen to a clip, an audio clip from Natural English. If you have the book, this is chapter 114. So as always, pay close attention, and then I will have a mission for you afterwards. This is from Natural English.
Chapter 114. When talking about bad habits.
Hablando de malos hábitos. 4 key expressions.
To find fault.
Poner peros, buscar defectos.
To kick the habit.
Dejarlo o dejar el hábito o vicio.
To turn over a new leaf.
Pasar página.
To nip something in the bud.
Cortar algo de raíz.
More useful English. Exaggerate. Greasy gunk.
Mugre grasienta.
To take you to the cleaners.
Dejar pelado.
Phrasal verbs. To swear off.
Dejar un hábito.
To pick on someone.
Meterse con alguien.
To shy away from.
Mantenerse lejos.
Vocabulary. To disapprove of.
Ver con malos ojos.
To gamble.
Jugar, apostar.
Pronunciation.
Salario se dice
Wages. Set phrase. Not going to get started on.
ni voy a mencionar.
Bobby, you should take better care of your skin. Do you use a skin moisturizer?
Sarah, I'm not about to start putting greasy gunk all over my face. And why do you care anyway?
All right, but at least you could take better care of your nails. You bite them to the quick. It's a really nasty habit.
I don't bite my nails, Sarah. I peel them off. And unlike you and all your fellow fault finders, I've never scratched a soul. I like my bad habit.
But you should kick that drinking habit of yours. Look at Jamie Parkinson. He swore off the bottle and turned over a new leaf. He's an example to the community.
Jamie Parkinson spends half the evenings down at Patty Ann's getting massages from those lovely ladies you seem to disapprove of so much. Talk about bad habits. At least I'm a model husband and father.
But I've heard you frequent that casino up at the Cherokee Indian Reservation. I hope you're not gambling away your hard-earned wages. You're the only breadwinner in your house, and you can't afford to fall prey to those casino people. They'll take you to the cleaners.
Sarah, why do you keep picking on me and finding fault with everything I do? I go to the casino twice a month to inspect the security system. It's part of my job. Where did you get the idea that I gamble when I go there?
Well, I know you like playing poker with your buddies on Friday nights. Gambling is habit-forming. It's addictive. You should shy away from it. And I'm not even going to get started on the amount of takeouts you've been having for lunch lately.
Well, Sarah, maybe what I should start shying away from is you. Thank God you're not habit-forming. I'd go nuts if I had to spend time around you. That's one habit I'd nip in the bud immediately.
All right. Nice round of applause for Richard Vaughn and Layla Chapoy. Nice job. That is from Natural English. And whoa, that's just a couple minutes, but it's chock full of amazing idiomatic expressions. And now I'm going to see if you were able to catch a few of these idiomatic expressions. Again, this is from Natural English. It has, let me see how many hours of audio. Well, let's put it this way, 120 chapters. And what was that, 3 or 4 minutes? And that's one chapter. So do the math. It's a lot of audio, which is really important because in the end, you want to make sure you're pronouncing things correctly, not that you're just learning words randomly. And it's good to learn them in their natural habitat, as we always say. So this is what I want you guys to do. I want you to give me today's 3 challenges from Natural English. Number 1, the expression pasar página was brought up. The expression pasar página. That's number 1. I want you to use it in context. Don't just give me the expression, and give it to me in one post just for the sake of simplicity, please. So number 1, pasar página. Number 2, let me see. I think you say, let me just make sure. It's to end something quickly. Cortar de raíz. Okay, to stop something in el yugular, you say too, the jugular, right? It means just cortarlo ahí de raíz, as you say, at the root. That is the second idiomatic expression that I want you to give me. And of course, give it to me in context, preferably your context, in a way that you would use it. And the last one, and there were 2 different ways they said this one, and this was dejar un hábito. O sea, dejar de hacer algo que es un mal, because we were talking about bad habits. Oh, and there's another thing. Please pronounce the word with me. Habit. Habit. It's not habit. It's habit. Say it with me. Habit. And there was another one too, while you're thinking it through, mientras lo estáis pensando ahí, there's another one that came up, and it's to take to the cleaners, to take somebody to the cleaners, and it means dejar seco, dejar pelado. They were talking about gambling, playing poker. So even if you didn't know the expression, she was telling them, man, they took you to the cleaners. Te quitaron, te dejaron sin un céntimo. Te llevaron a la limpieza de la ropa, the dry cleaners. Hey, we've got a sense of humor too. You aren't the only ones with a sense of humor in your idiomatic expressions. All right, so there you go. The first one is pasar página, to start a new chapter. Number 2 is to end something abruptly before it grows anymore. And number 3 is a way of saying to stop doing something, usually associated with a bad habit. Now, here at Vaughn, we love creating good habits. That's why we have a trivia night once a month.
Hello.
Hey, Kyle, this is Chris. How you doing?
Good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, what do you have going on February 7th?
I have nothing going on. What do you have in mind?
Well, I was thinking we haven't done Vaughn Radio Trivia Night yet this year, and I'm available to host.
You know what? We haven't kicked off the year yet. I think that could be a great time.
Yeah, I was thinking we could host at Roll Madrid as usual. Is it available that night?
Absolutely. Amañel 23, Roll Madrid.
Perfect. That's Calle Amañel 23, yeah?
That's the spot.
Awesome. Great. I was thinking 8:30, because that's the usual time, right?
Yeah, that's the usual time. I think that way people will be familiar with it, and they'll know what to expect, which is a good time, as always.
Absolutely. I agree. So, perfect.
Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, February 7th at 8:30 p.m. Roll Madrid, Calle Amañel 23.
Hosted by the one and only Chris Frank.
Perfect. I'll see you there then, Kyle.
Looking forward to it.
Great. We'll talk soon.
All right, folks, it's February 7th, and it's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Be there or be square. We're all going to be there having tons of fun, amigos. Now, let's see who's here with us in our virtual classroom. Let's see who's on board and ready to rock. Show with no namers of the world, unite. That's right, the Hallelujah remix there. All right, well, folks, let's see. We've got Born to Iron Man hanging out with us, quedando aquí de tranquis con nosotros. And he says, morning, double A, and friends, good morning to you, too, Born to Iron Man. Chris Valrol says, morning, here with a lot of pizzazz. I wouldn't expect anything less from you, Chris, with a lot of pizzazz. She says, what a word for Scrabble. Yeah, that's $1 million word. Porque en Scrabble, apalabrados, las zetas valen mucho. So, yeah, that's a serious one. Good observation there, Chris Valrol. So we've got two superstar show with no-namers, front row center, Born to Iron Man, and Chris Valrol setting the tone. There's Salvador. What's up, Salvador? He says, morning, amigos. What's up, Salvador? Great to have you here to save the day. We got lovely Laura in the house. What's up, Laura? I got your question of the week. Great answer. And you know what? You guys will be able to hear her question of the week. And I'm still waiting for, speaking of, wow, you read my mind there. I said I'm still waiting for Anix and Chris Valrol to participate. Well, not because, I'm going to force them, obligarles. I'm not going to do anything like that. No, but it's just because, remember, we were talking about good habits? Well, some people, such as Laura, I believe Chris, I believe Anix, they've participated every single week. And we started doing the question of the week again, and because I used to do it written, but it's better for you to express yourself in English instead of me reading your comment, correct? So this new version of the question of the week, when did we start? Right after the summer. So we've been doing this for a few months now, and I think it's a resounding success. Again, thank you guys. If you don't participate, if you don't like the section, it's gone. It's that simple. So good morning to you, Anix. Looking forward to hearing your question of the week answer as well. Let's see. Born to Iron Man is ready to participate in our pop quiz, nuestro examen sorpresa. And he says, forget about it, man. You have to turn over a new leaf and start a new life. Great job. To turn over a new leaf. Okay, in this case, leaf is una página, a page. But normally we say a page. Leaf is more the poetic sense of the word, right? You wouldn't say, pero a la vez, ojear is to leaf through. I was leafing through the magazine. So it's interesting. We say page, pero luego leaf ahí existe, pero no siempre. It's an interesting one. So the expression is always, you can say to turn the page or to turn over a new leaf, but they're not the same. You got to use them in a different structure. So excellent job on the first one, Born to Iron Man. Number 2, cutting smoking at the butt is one of the best you've done. Okay, so cutting, I would say they're cutting out smoking, cutting smoke, or quitting. I would say quitting or stopping then. It sounds more natural. Cutting out is removing it, quitándolo de tu hábito. At the butt is one of the best you've done. That second one's a little bit off. I think you know what you're saying, but you used the wrong word there. And he says, everybody's better quit that habit. Everybody had better. So sería, everybody'd better quit that habit. All right, so not bad. The first one is pretty good, Born to Iron Man. Those second ones are a little bit off. But the good news is we've got Chris Valrol and we've got Laura participating. The bad news is we've got to go to a quick commercial break. But as I said, quick, rápido. We'll be brief, breves. When we come back, we will take a look at more answers on our pop quiz where we're learning some totally native idiomatic expressions. We've got our Say What soundbite. We've got our spelling bee. We've got homophones. Man, we've got tons of stuff to do. As we say in English, so much to do, so little time. If I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hello, 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 amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, interactive, and whatever you want it to be. Don't forget to catch all our other programs. We've got great programs. I'm serious. I'm not just saying that. You guys know me. I'd rather be quiet than be insincere. That's my style. I'm 46 years old. I don't fuck around anymore. Sorry. Sometimes you got to say it like it is. I don't have time to fuck around anymore. One of my favorite expressions, ya que estamos mirando fuck around. Have you heard FAFO? F-A-F-O? Fuck around, find out. O sea, si lo pruebas, si intentas, te enterarás. So I'll give you the perfect example. You see one of these videos on YouTube of somebody teasing a lion, vacilando un león, at the zoo. And then the guy gets his hand bitten off. El león le come la mano. And you know what you say there? Fuck around and find out. Haz el tonto, haz el idiota y te enterarás. FAFO. Did you guys know that one? Maybe you've come across it on the internet. Fuck around, find out. All right, sorry to be vulgar, but that's part of the language as well. All right, well, folks, we've got a lot of stuff to do, so let's move on to today's Say What soundbite. Say what? What? Yeah, that's right, folks. Your Say What soundbite. Today we're going to hear from a very popular, or at least he was very popular when I was a kid, very popular American man. So there, I'll get that out of the way. We don't have to talk about the accent. Well, yeah. What part of the United States do you think this guy's from? So we already know two things. It's a dude, un tío, and he's from the U.S., the United States of America, which, just a quick reminder, we don't just have one accent. Just like in Spain, right? Only it's 10 times, 1 million, not more than 10 times bigger. So, I don't know. Anybody know the answer to that? I'm sure Google or your AI, artificial intelligence. Nosotros decimos al revés, no IA, sino AI. But I wonder how many times bigger the United States is than Spain. And then just try and figure out how many different accents there are just in like, you cross the river from New York to New Jersey, and I mean, it's the same air, same water, but they sound a bit different. It's weird. It's an interesting thing, And in Spain, you can go from, for example, Cádiz up to, or go to Cádiz to Malaga. Totally different accent, right? And they're both in the south of Spain on paper. All right, amigos, your Say What soundbite, as always. You're going to hear this 4 times. You'll have 4 chances to jot down everything you hear. At first, I just want your observations. I want you to tell me in your best English what you heard. And keep it short and sweet. Is everybody ready? Here's the Say What soundbite for the first time.
All kidding aside, the trouble with being a brother is that sometimes you can't always say the things that you really feel. Like how good it is to have somebody around to rap to, somebody to kind of pick you up, when you're so low that you have to reach up to touch bottom.
All right. Wow, interesting voice, I'd say, right? Without giving you too much information, definitely a voice that turns heads. Que atrae atención. To turn heads es hacer que la gente mire, ¿no? All right, I'll give you a second just to digest that. And is everybody ready? Here's your Say What soundbite for the second time.
All kidding aside, the trouble with being a brother is that sometimes you can't always say the things that you really feel. Like how good it is to have somebody around to rap to, somebody to kind of pick you up, when you're so low that you have to reach up to touch bottom.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughan.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. That's right, folks. And if you want more information about Vaughan Town or anything we've got, you can go over to our website, grupovaughan.com. That's right, grupovaughan.com. And make sure you're following us also on social media. All right, let's see. We've got some other people participating in our pop quiz. We also have to see what you guys heard in the Say What soundbite. Let's see. Chris Valrol, she's giving us the first one. He turned over a new leaf. Just be careful there, Chris. A new leaf. Porque leave es otra cosa. Leaves es plural, pero si lo pones así, leave es marcharse, right? So he turned over a new leaf. L-E-A-F, okay? The expression is to turn over a new leaf. When her wife left him, I think you mean, unless this is a weird relationship, a couple different people, when his wife left him, Chris, possibly? So he turned over a new leaf when his wife left him high and dry. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. You're the best thing that I ever had. The best thing that I ever had. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Dejar tirado, dejar colgado. Great expression and a great Radiohead song. Nice job, Chris. The second one, she said she nipped smoking in the bud. Yeah, to nip something in the bud. So I think you said butt. Born to Iron Man, it's bud. The bud is el cogollo, I think, el capullo. I can't say that word in Spanish because I learned that word as idiot, before I learned it as, I learned the word idiot before I learned the flower sense of the word. So when I heard somebody say, mira el capullo, I'm like, where is he? And the woman's like, no, look at the flower. I'm like, oh wow, okay. Funny how you learn some things, some meanings before others. So to nip something in the bud, right? I said, we are not going to argue over money. And that's it, period. I'm going to nip this in the bud right now, right? Cortarlo aquí mismo de raíz. So to nip it in the bud. Nip es cortar. Nip. To nip it in the bud. To turn over a new leaf. And the third one, he kicked his habit. Excellent job. To kick. To kick something. To quit it, as we said. Also to swear it off. To swear something off means I'll never do it again. Es como jurar que nunca lo vas a hacer más. It's a good one. So I think we looked at it as a double trouble. He swore off swearing. So él dejó de decir palabrotas. I swear, te lo juro. Swear, swore, sworn. Swear, swore, sworn. Good word, by the way, porque es jurar, es palabrota, and we just learned to swear off, which was in the audio, again, from Natural English. It's worth it just for the 5 awesome expressions that we just looked at in just one little chapter. Laura, there's Laura. She says, after his divorce, he decided to turn over a new leaf. Excellent. To nip the bad habit of gambling in the bud. To nip it in the bud. Wait a second. Are you and Chris on the same page? Hablando de páginas. Gambling, divorce. Oh my, do you guys know the same people? Was that a coincidence? That's crazy. So the bad habit of gambling in the bud. And kick the habit of smoking by quitting cold turkey. So to kick a habit and to quit cold turkey. Excellent idiomatic expression. To quit cold turkey means dejarlo, pero de una vez por todas, no gradualmente. So he quit drinking. Oh, how did you do it? I know you were a big drinker. Eras un poco alcohólico. Well, I quit cold turkey. One day I just woke up and decided I didn't want to, como dicen in Alcoholics Anonymous, I woke up and said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. ¿Te lo entiendes? No sé si lo dicen en Alcohólicos Anónimos. Lo sé por amigos, ¿eh? I'm sick and tired of being sick and estoy harto de estar enfermo y cansado. So that's a pretty interesting play on words there. And that's, I guess, when people decide, okay, I'm going to quit cold turkey or not. Maybe they get help and they gradually quit. But to quit cold turkey, wow, that really is natural English. Great job, show with no namers. Chris says, yes, I'll send my audio after the show. Fantastic. We are looking forward to it. All right, let's see. Born to Iron Man says Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill. So Capullo Spencer and Terrence Colina. I won't be the one who calls, I won't be the one who calls Bud Spencer Capullo. Well, you can tell him I meant flower. You're beautiful. You're a beautiful guy. You're a beautiful guy. Reminds me of, there was an Asian guy on Pesadilla en la Cocina with Chicote, and he was calling him Cipote. I was cracking up. I don't know if he did it. He's like, Cipote, Cipote. I'm like, and Chicote, his eyes popped out of his head. He was like, Flipo pepinillos, you know. Alucino pepinillos or whatever he says. I hallucinate pickles. All right, let's see. There's Laura participating in our pop quiz. Let's see what she has to say. You guys are doing a wonderful job collectively today, so keep up the great work. Laura says, I heard the enticing. Wow, lovely word. Enticing, que te atrae, te tenta. The enticing voice of a man praising, dando elogios, no? Praising the importance that an elder sibling has on the younger ones, especially when they help them do things that they cannot do for themselves. Nice job, Laura. Wonderful job. Would anybody else like to participate in our Say What soundbite? If not, you know we've got to move on because we've got a lot of stuff to do here on our show every day. So without any further ado, sin más, it's time for our Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. Welcome to our Spelling Bee. And today's Spelling Bee, it's going to be kind of tough, I think. For some reason, I don't think it's going to be the easiest spelling bee we've seen. But nonetheless, no obstante, nonetheless, I think you guys will get it. I'll tell you what. I'm going to say that at least 2 people, maybe 3, will get it on the first go. All right? This is round 1. Please capitalize the first letter of every word. Is everybody ready? All right, here we go with round 1. I am going to fly through this as I always do. Is everybody ready? All right, here we go. The first one is HUNKP APA space LAK OTA. The second one is SITTING space BULL. The third one is STANDING space ROCK. The fourth one is WOUNDED space KNEE. The fifth one is PINE space RIDGE. And the last one is SOUTH space DAKOTA. Stop making resolutions and start making progress with your English in the new year. We've got something for everyone under the sun. Every level, every age, every budget. Grupo Vaughn has got you covered no matter what you're looking for. Whether it be master's courses, group or one-to-one classes, either online or in person. Vaughntown, a true immersion experience. Disney English and Vaughn Jr. for the kids. Oxford Test of English. Camps for kids of all ages. Online courses. And a wealth of other resources at vaughntienda.com. Stop by one of our centers for a free level test or a sample class from one of our top teachers. Why wait? There's no time like the present. Start the year off on the right foot. You can contact us at our website, grupovaughn.com, or give us a call at 911-385831. And make sure you're following us on social media. Let's get going. Pongámonos en marcha. That's right, folks. More information at our website, grupovon.com. All right, let's see. It looks like we may have some winners, and there's 3 of you that are participating. And I said 2 or 3 at least. So right now, I'm right. Yay! All right. Also, Chris Valrol, she says, I heard an American man. It's an excerpt from a movie. She's referring to the Say What soundbite. And I don't get the gist of it, but I think he mentions travel, Big Brother. All right, not bad. Not bad, Chris. You got some of it. All right, now let's take a look at our spelling bee. The first person to take a stab at it is Born to Iron Man, and let's see how he did. Born to Iron Man, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one is also correct. The fifth one is correct. Yes. And the sixth one? Is also correct. Excellent job. Also, Chris, Valrol, and Laura. So, wow, excellent job. Born to Iron Man, Chris, Valrol, and Laura, the Holy Trinity. Hallelujah. 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 All right, folks. Round 2 of today's Spelling Bee. Maybe we can give you a little background just to get you going here. Maybe this will help out. Maybe not. All right. The first one is HUNKPAPA space LAKOTA. The second one is SITTING space BULL. The third one is STANDING space ROCK. The fourth one, WOUNDED space KNEE. The fifth one is PINE space RIDGE. And the last one, SOUTH space DAKOTA. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, great job to Born to Iron Man, Chris and Laura. We'll see if anybody else can figure these out. The reason I chose these words today is because today in the year 1890, Hunka Papa Lakota, I probably mispronounced that, Hunk Papa Lakota, which is weird because hunk is buenorro. He's a hunk. Está buenísimo. Right? So Hunk Papa, Papa, buenísimo. Cool name. Hunk Papa Lakota. And he was, he wasn't a person. That was the name of the tribe. Hunk Papa Lakota. And their leader, Sitting Bull, was killed today. That was on Standing Rock Indian Reservation. And that led to the famous Wounded Knee Massacre, or as they call it, the Battle of Wounded Knee. And wounded is herido, lesionado, and knee, si tenéis hijos, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees, rodillas. Wounded Knee, the Battle of Wounded Knee, the Wounded Knee Massacre, where 300 Lakota people were shot and killed by soldiers in the U.S. Army. The U.S. Army called it the Pine Ridge Campaign. How nice, right? So Wounded Knee Massacre or the Pine Ridge. Hey, guys, you want to participate in the Pine Ridge Campaign? It's going to be fun. We're only going to kill hundreds of Indians. No problem. No problem. Native Americans. So yes, Hunkpapa, Lakota leader. He was the leader named Sitting Bull. They always have cool names, huh? Sitting Bull. El toro que se sienta. And the name of the Indian reservation where it took place, the Wounded Knee Massacre, as it's called now, was called Standing Rock Indian Reservation. And this is on the border of North and South Dakota. North and South Dakota. These are two states that I know very, very little about. But if you think about it, the Lakota Indians, North Dakota, South Dakota, well, together, you know what we call them? The Dakotas. The same way we call North Carolina and South Carolina the Carolinas. See, guys, we are practical people. All right, we've got to take a quick commercial break here, my amigos. I hope you're having fun. I hope you're learning. I hope you're laughing. And I hope you're ready for more in the second half of today's show, because we've got a lot of stuff to cover. Homophones, movies, music, more challenges such as our Double Trouble Challenge. We've also got to listen to our Say What soundbite a couple more times as well. So, you know what I'm going to say. Why don't you help me out? If I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Say it. Stick around. Hello, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. That's right, amigos. So much to do here on today's show. I hope you're having fun, and I hope you'll join Ximena Holiday next on her program, Test Your English, where she will put you and Nacho to the test. So don't miss it. Just stay tuned here on the Vaughn Radio app. And you've got exciting English all day long. From the break of dawn, desde primera hora al amanecer, the break of dawn, until the wee hours. The wee hours, las horas pequeñas, you say the same? Las horas de madrugada. The wee hours. We're here to accompany you on your day, and not only to teach you English, but to get you excited about English. And also, who knows, maybe even to teach you about other things. Richard Vaughn is a freaking history expert. Literature, history, I mean, he's a culture vulture. Alguien que le gusta la cultura, we call a culture vulture. And I think Richard Vaughn is a perfect example of a culture vulture. So you can learn so much more. Another one, a mini Richard Vaughn, Chris Frank. Frankly speaking, he's awesome. You see what I did there? Frankly speaking. Well, the name of his show is Frankly Speaking, Chris Frank. All right, not funny, not funny. But you should, if you can, attend his upcoming trivia night. It's February 7th, and it's at Roll Madrid. We'll all be there, and I hope you'll join us.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. Let's take a look at these words I've got for you here today, and we'll see if you, A, recognize the words, and B, know if they're pronounced exactly the same. And this is a good part of the show to repeat what you hear aloud. Why? Because these are the tough words. That's why I've chosen them in many cases. All right, so the first word is a word we use pretty often, to be honest, all right? And the word means certain. So instead of saying, are you certain, but los americanos hacemos el glottal stop. Intenta esta. Are you certain there's a fountain in the mountain? What? Yeah. Are you certain there's a fountain in the mountain? Now, the British would say, are you certain there's a fountain in the mountain? Lo que no podemos decir es mountain, right? Mountain no nos vale. We got to say mountain or mountain, 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 mountain. Hey, I'm just telling you how I've been saying it all my life. So it's certain. It's also confident, no? Seguro de sí mismo, confiado, right? And also it means por supuesto. Claro que sí. Sin problema. Okay? And, well, I'm sure there are many other, casi seguro, si le añadimos almost, asegurarse, to make, right? So it's used very, very often in English. The second word is a section of land that borders the water. A section of land that borders the water. Costa, orilla, o litoral. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your homophone section. I just gave you those two words. Now you tell me what they are and if they sound the same or not. Also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite for the third time. Is everybody ready? Write this down.
All kidding aside, the trouble with being a brother is that sometimes you can't always say the things that you really feel. You know, like how good it is to have somebody around to rap to, somebody to kind of pick you up, you know, when you're so low that you have to reach up to touch bottom.
All right, there you go, my amigos. Also, we are celebrating. Why? Because FYI reached 600,000. That's a big number. 600,000 downloads. And there's only one reason that we've been able to do that, and that's thanks to you guys. So thank you.
Hey, Alberto, it's your mother. Just wanted to say congrats on 600,000 downloads. We're very proud of you.
Yeah, congrats, Daddy. That is awesome. Great job. Keep it up. Next stop, 1 million.
All right, so thank you to my lovely daughter and my mother for helping me out, and thank you to you, FYIers. Remember, if you haven't heard a topic that you want to hear about, it's because you haven't let me know yet. Seriously, I've done a lot of topics that students have recommended. In fact, the one I'm working on now for the future is a Tina Turner episode. And Christina, not you, Chris Valrol, another Christina, I don't think it was you, another Christina recommended, she goes, what about Tina Turner? I mean, she's not only awesome, but she has a fascinating, difficult life, her life story. And I said, wow, that is brilliant. Remember, tomorrow you got a brand new episode. Well, if you're in my community, you've already got the episode and the bonus episode because you get them on Wednesday, right? So you get a bonus episode and you get both of them before Friday. So you're ahead of the game. If not, you get one episode a week, and that is, hey, it's free. Can't complain about that. Beggars can't be choosers, as we say. And hopefully, as what I've noticed, and that I'm always asking for feedback, you have noticed that the quality, not just of the audio and the production, but the quality of the content has improved as well. So it's a learning process for me as well as you guys. So this week, we're going to take a look at corporations. There's going to be a lot of very useful vocabulary because we'll look at all the different departments in a corporation and things like that. After, we're going to take a look at fire. So next Friday, the 9th of February, we'll be learning English with fire, lots of music, lots of movies that have to do with fire. And speaking of movies, Chris says, talking about wounded knees and mountains. I went to the movie theater to see the Spanish movie Valle de Sombras, and they speak in English a lot. I loved it. Well, great. Thanks for the recommendation. In fact, I'm going to write it down because my wife and I are always looking for a decent movie. And it seems like it's hard to find a movie worth a... Oh, excuse me. Did I say that out loud? Hey, I beeped myself. Que vale un... So thanks for the recommendation. Awesome. Laura, thanks you as well. All right, Born to Iron Man participating in our homophone section. Those are the correct words, and he says they sound alike. Let's see. Laura says the correct words, and she's pretty segura that they sound the same. Chris Valrol as well. She says they're definitely homophones. She didn't say I think today, so she's pretty sure. Born to Iron Man says congrats for the first 600,000 downloads. I'm sure there will be much more. Well, yeah, we're already at 610,000. So since I made that audio clip with my mom and my daughter, I've gotten 10,000 more downloads. So that's pretty crazy, guys. And again, it's if you look at my face and I look tired, that's probably why. Because I don't just do the show with no name, and I prepare the show with no name. I produce the show with no name. And the same with FYI. Let's put it this way. I don't have any assistants. I'd love to. I'd love to have a clone. If anybody knows how to clone anyone, just let me know. I'd be willing to pay top dollar. Mucha pasta. Well, I don't have it, but I'll take out a loan. Un préstamo. If somebody knows how to clone me, that would be Awesome. All right, so let's take a look at these two words. The first word is a word I'm sure you've heard a million times. I'm sure. So that's interesting because that word starts with an S, but it sounds like an SH. Sure. Are you sure? There's some people in my country say, I'm sure. I'm sure. O sea, S-H-E-R, suena así. Yo digo sure, but I've heard a lot of people, I'm sure she was here. En vez de sure, que es más difícil. But the correct one is sure. Are you sure? Are you sure? ¿Estás seguro? O también sure, claro que sí. Alberto, can you pick me up later on? Sure. No problem. Sure. Not sur, of course. Sure. Okay? Now, the second word, I know you guys had a show here, Gandia Shore. Well, it was based on the very famous show, Jersey Shore. Or wait a second, I'm not sure. Was Gandia Shore based on Jersey Shore? Are you sure? Do they sound the same? Absolutely. Great job. Anybody feel like going to the beach now? Man, I feel like putting my toes in the sand, exfoliating a little bit. I'm an old man, guys. I exfoliate. Oh, man. Close your eyes for a second. Let's go to the beach just for a second. Okay, it's not a beach day, not here in Madrid, but maybe if we convince ourselves, or as we say, mind over matter, not manner. Estoy inventando expresiones aquí. Mind over matter. So excellent job to all my amigos who got today's homophones. Just make sure you never say sur. Are you sur? Oh, and another one, hablando de the shore, the ocean. O sea, otra que tiene sonido SH. The shore or the ocean. Shh. They all have the SH sound. All right, great job, amigos. Let's see. Chris says Tina Turner is a great topic. She deserves an episode. Sure. There's no doubt about it. Fascinating. She said, thanks, Christina, for asking for it. And about the movie, I liked it, but I know people who didn't like it. Oh, well, thanks for your honesty over there. I really appreciate it because it's hard. It's hard to find a good movie for date night. With kids, all right, well, Pixar, or, the Trolls, there's always something coming out for kids, I feel like, the superhero stuff if they're a little bit older. But frankly, Chris, I'm sick of it. I used to love superheroes, and now they're making me hate them. Seriously, thanks, Disney. Okay, I still admit, I am batty over Batman. Batty loco. I love Batman. Okay. Please, Disney, don't buy Batman. Please don't do it. Please. So, and she says about it's hard. It's really hard as a movie buff, somebody who loves movies. I feel like Hollywood these days is making, I don't know how to say it, a lot of, yeah, that's the way to say it. But that doesn't mean that we're going to eliminate the section, name that movie, because we can still learn a lot of English from movies. There's tons of dialogue, and every single emotion is expressed in movies. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie, only on the Show with No Name. And I remember this movie being the biggest thing. I mean, when this movie came out, I just remember everybody was talking about it. Now, when you look back at it, it's really a shitty movie, honestly. Crappy. Si no queremos ser tan vulgares. but it was like a cult favorite of some sorts. Now on IMDb, it has a rating of 5.8 out of 10, which is not bad for a kind of goofy movie. And once I tell you the premise, the synopsis, then you might agree that it's a bit ridiculous, the concept. But it worked. It worked. So let's take a look at today's Name That Movie. And I'll give you the trailer, the synopsis, and you might recognize it. Now, I don't know if this was, that's an interesting thing, too, when we talk about movies. Some movies are a huge hit in the United States, and they go unnoticed. Pasan desapercibidos. They go unnoticed here, and vice versa. So that's interesting. That even happens not just with music, but with any pop culture things. Tina Turner, we're talking about Tina Turner, she was kind of having a slump in her career in the United States between Ike and Tina and her solo career. But still in Europe, she was still, the best thing since sliced bread. So it's interesting, that phenomenon over there. All right, well, here we go with today's movie. Oh, and they changed the title, I just realized. Oh, that's weird. All right, well, I'm sure in Spanish it's something totally different. When they find a frozen caveman in their backyard, two high school outcasts thaw him and introduce him to modern life, while he, in turn, gets them to actually enjoy life. So when they find, algunos chavales, when they find a frozen congelado, you know it? Let it go, let it go. Speaking of Disney, when they find a frozen caveman, cavernícola, you say? Caveman, very logical word in English. Neanderthal. In their backyard. Now, if you have tu patio de adelante is your front yard, el de atrás is the backyard. We just took a look at this. We took a look at this in the episode of FYI on home, English at home. If you didn't listen to the episode, my students have told me, they're like, Alberto, what a useful episode. You can get it wherever you get your Vaughn podcast, and very, very useful. We all live in a home, hopefully. So we should know all the vocabulary, all the verbs, all the nouns, all the things we're surrounded by. Our stuff, que es incontable. We don't say stuffs, right? Or there are a lot of stuff. There is a lot of stuff. Da igual si hay mil o millones. So, primera cosa. Y no se pronuncia igual que staff. I said that one with my students the other day. The staff has a lot of stuff. The staff has a lot of stuff. All right, let's take a look over here and see what we've got. We've got Laura participating in our Say What soundbite. Great job, Laura. Fantastic job, Laura. She said she's not sure about the beginning, but don't worry, we'll check that in just a little bit. Let's see. Chris says the flick is Encino Man. That's right, Encino Man. Now, here it says California Man, which is weird because that was never the title, not when I was a kid. It was called Encino Man. Encino is a place in California. But of course, I guess if you say it in Spanish, they're going to be like Encino. What is Encino? The Encinar, maybe? I don't know. Because a lot of names in California obviously come from Spanish. Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, aunque lo pronunciamos Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, we pronounce it differently. So this is a movie that stars Sean Astin from The Goonies. You guys remember him? Mikey from The Goonies. Brendan Fraser, he was the biggest thing since sliced bread, too. Brendan Fraser. You want me to be honest? I've never been a big fan. I feel like he's just too fake. Like he's just like, hi, I'm Brendan Fraser. Welcome to. I don't know what it is. I don't dislike him. No es que me chirre. I just, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe he's handsome or something. There's something I don't get about Brendan Fraser. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one with the problem. He's the famous guy, not me. I'm famous here in my home. And even then, sometimes to get people to listen to me. So let's see. Chris says, I remember this movie and the song. I'm too sexy for this song. Too sexy for Milan. Too sexy, yeah. And you know who's in this movie? Pauly Shore. Pauly, Orilla de la Playa. We looked at it. I'm sure Pauly Shore was in this movie. And Pauly Shore, he was another one. He was the biggest thing since sliced bread. He was an MTV VJ. VJ is video jockey. And he blew up. And then he kind of made some bad decisions in his career, and the rest is history. So let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen. Matt Wilson says, and after Matt and his goons, I'm reading the stage directions here. After Matt and his goons, whose goons son sus matones, have not goonies, goons. After Matt and his goons have Dave hanging from a bulletin board at school, esto donde pones las chinchetas, he says, Robin wouldn't piss on your gums if your teeth were on fire. Robin no mearía en tus encías aunque estuvieran encendidos o en llamas tus dientes. So let me repeat it. Robin wouldn't piss on your gums if your teeth were on fire. O sea, pasa de tu culo. And Dave says helplessly, yes, she would. Yes, she would. And Matt and his goons laugh. And he goes, shh, que estamos practicando ese sonido mucho. Sure, right? Shush. Shush es calla. Shush. Hush, please. So shush, hush, shut up. Shut up es, yo digo be quiet, es más suave. Hush, please. Bueno, hay algunos que se merecen un shut the fuck up. ¿Sabes una forma de decirlo sin decir shut the fuck up? You can say shut the front door. Cierra la puerta de adelante. Y creen que van a decir, will you shut the front door? Es como decir miércoles en vez de mierda. So he goes, hush, please. Showing your ignorance again, Morgan. And then the goons fist bump each other. And to fist bump is chocar los puños. Es un saludo, no? It's the new handshake. And the goons fist bump each other. And Matt says, and some of us slump. And to slump is no incorporarse, sentarse mal en su asiento. You're slumping, you have bad posture. Sentarse despatarrado. It says here, to slump. And he goes, you should try some pump, Morgan. It might clear up your acne, right? And acne, you say? We say acne is the pronunciation. And then Dave says, as Matt begins to write on Dave's forehead, su frente, estaba practicando el cuerpo esta mañana con mi hija. Forehead, surgió el forehead porque estamos con el cuerpo. And a magic marker. And a magic marker es una forma de decir a marker. Magic marker era como la marca. He says, no, stop it. And Matt and his goons laugh. And he says, why do you make me do this? ¿Por qué me haces hacer eso? And Dave says, what are you writing? What are you? What are you? Debería sonar como, what are you? What are you? What are you writing? What are you writing? And he says, hey, what did you write? ¿Qué acabas de escribir? And Dave says, as Matt finishes writing, eat me. Now, eat me is, me vas a comer el, yeah, okay. It means, it's very vulgar. Eat me. Okay. Do I have to explain it, or I think everybody got it there? And he writes, eat me. And he walks over to the fire alarm. The fire alarm es la alarma. And he pulls it. Y esto lo vamos a ver en el capítulo de Fuego. Do you guys know how to say simulacro? A fire drill. But we'll get to that in the fire episode of FYI. So, folks, the movie is called Encino Man, or also California Man, which is kind of strange. And let's see, we've got some comments over here. Laura says, zip it. Zip it. Oh, yeah. You know, guys, a great place where you can find a lot of different ways to say shut up. Check out, I think it's Austin Powers 2. Okay. And he's like, zip it. Shut up. Hush. And he literally goes through all the different ways to say shut up in English. Learning English with music and movies here on the show with no name. Folks, we'll be right back with the rest of today's show, so stick around. Hello, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves here on the show, learning English, laughing, playing, making friends. Sounds awesome. Oh, yeah. All right, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back. Also, a quick reminder, download our free app. You know, every time I'm at the playground, el patio de los niños, you know, el parque infantil, the playground, literalmente la tierra, el terreno de juego. When I'm at the playground, I think I told you guys this. I'm always selling myself, not on purpose. But the moment other parents hear me speaking English to Lara, they gravitate towards me. It's like a magnet, como un imán. They're hoping that if their children are near me and near Lara, that it will rub off on them. Tener efecto. Hey, I hope it works. But as far as I know, osmosis doesn't work yet. At least not with English learning. But the great thing is, what I do tell them is, you're in luck. You can learn English every day for free. And I do that not just at the park, the playground. I do it every time I get in a taxi. I do it every time I'm shopping. Anytime I can, you know, slip it in there. Meterlo con calzador. All right, amigos. It's Vaughn Radio, and it's global. Are you ready for another challenge? Great. Let's do today's Double Trouble. Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble. All right, amigos, it is your Double Trouble, and I got this one. I was listening to a podcast. There I was, just relaxing, you know, enjoying my evening, and then I heard an expression, and I said, ooh, I'm going to bring this one to my students. So this is me relaxing and still working for you guys, because I'm like, oh, I can't let this one, because if not, I forget it. If I don't write it down, I know the expression, but I'm like, oh, esta a ver si la saben. So this one, I'm serving it up. I forget. I think I saw a documentary or something recently. Maybe it was a podcast. I don't remember, but it's plucked, sacado, right from pop culture here in today's Double Trouble. So let's take a look. And we looked at the word before, too, capullo in Spanish. So maybe it'll help. So, lo siento por haberte llamado capullo o idiota. Fue automático. ¿Ok? Fue una reacción automática. No, lo hice sin pensar, como me salió del alma. Would be a good translation. Okay. It was second nature. I didn't even think about it. Just, boop, there it is. So, lo siento por haberte llamado idiota. Fue una reacción automática. Me salió del alma. No lo he pensado. All right. I think it's going to be a really difficult one today, but I'll give you some time to think it through. And what we'll do is listen to our Say What soundbite here. So here's your Say What soundbite for the fourth time. And as I said, Laura got it already. Let's see if anybody else can figure it out as well.
All kidding aside, the trouble with being a brother is that sometimes you can't always say the things that you really feel. You know, like how good it is to have somebody around to rap to, somebody to kind of pick you up, you know, when you're so low that you have to reach up to touch bottom.
¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right, folks. More information about our Oxford Test of English, our Vaughan camps, our Harry Potter weekend camps, our masters, which are awesome. We've got Vaughan Town. I mean, whatever you're into. And if you're looking for self-study, then you can go right over to vaughantienda.com and you can check out all our amazing materials. As I always say, it's a small price to pay to get free classes every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. I'm not saying you have to buy something every month, but from time to time, especially since you are learning English, you know, if you pick up one of our materials or sign up for one of our courses. I know some of our students who listen, for example, I'll send a shout out to Oninche. Oninche listens to us, but also once a year, it's like a tradition for her now, she comes down to Madrid in the summer and she does a residential at Vaughan. Or no, I think she does the impacts. Either way, it's a tradition of hers now, and she comes. And it's great, too, because it's a way to make sure that, you know, one day when you come here, you know, in 5 years and you hit, let's see what's going on Vaughan Radio, that we're still here, right? And it's not just that. It's I stand behind everything we do. I personally know, because I know we've got amazing individuals working on everything, even in human resources, believe it or not. Shout out to Guada and company. All right, let's see what we got here. We've got our double trouble. Let's see if anybody was able to figure it out. Let's see. Laura says, I'm sorry I called you a jerk. It was a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, my God. Excellent. Wow. Wow. Look at that. So I'm sorry I called you a jerk. There's a movie, Chris, maybe you can help me with this one, with Steve Martin, the famous comedian Steve Martin, and he plays, and his character's called The Jerk, el idiota, el capullo, The Jerk, right? Now, when my mom was a kid, before you could buy soft drinks in a can or a bottle, you would go to a local place and they would make it for you. They would mix the syrup and they would mix the carbonated water And that person was called a soda jerk. El capullo del refresco? No. Also, a jerking action, to jerk es hacer un movimiento brusco, tirar bruscamente. So what do you have to do when you pour a beer or you make a soda? You have to jerk. So a soda jerk, because they used to jerk it. Alberto, I can't fix this. Jerk it a little bit and it might go in. No, como darle con un poco de fuerza. Now also, jerk it or jerk it off is pajearte. Just be careful. No te he dicho un movimiento brusco fuerte. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you. Don't be a jerk off. Don't be a jerk off, un pajillero. Don't be a jerk either. So just be careful with that one. That's one of those words that, And then we've got beef jerky. Do you know what this is? Esto es esta carne seca, reseca, que dura para, when you go hiking. That's called beef jerky. I love that stuff. Here I am talking about food. I tried to avoid it, but I couldn't. So I'm sorry I called you a jerk. Perdona por haberte llamado un capullo, un gilipollas. It was a knee-jerk reaction. And what is a knee-jerk reaction? Well, all I want you to do right now is I want you to think about when you go to the doctors for a checkup, una revisión, especially when you were younger. They had like this little hammer thing, and they would hit you on your knee. Hemos visto la palabra knee antes, head, shoulders, knees, and toes también. So they used to hit you on your knee, correct? Right? Because they would see how your reflexes were, tus reflejos. So a knee-jerk reaction es que lo haces automáticamente. Es una reacción de movimiento brusco de la rodilla. So if you think about it, think about the doctor there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. It was a knee-jerk reaction. So reflejo, instintivo, knee-jerk. It also says exabrupto. Exabrupto. I never heard that one. I admit my response was a knee-jerk reaction. When I thought about it later, I wished I'd never said it. So there you go. Knee-jerk reactions. A jerk, as I said, un idiota, un capullo. To jerk something is dar un tirón, un agarrón, right? To pull something like this. It says here, pendejo, cabrón, cretino. Also, jerky, cecina, tasajo. Oh, I didn't know you could. It's not exactly cecina. It's a little bit different. Beef jerky. Cecinar. Oh, so to make something. See, I'm learning. Cecina. Guys, you're not the only ones. I love cecina, by the way. And it is, I guess it's similar. Beef jerky is a little bit like thicker and a little bit drier, right? It's the same kind of idea, though. So there you go. And as I said, jerk with the word off is masturbation. So there you go, folks. Today's Double Trouble. Great job to Laura. She can't help it. It was a knee-jerk reaction. All right, amigos, so much to do. Let's celebrate some famous birthdays.
Birthdays for you. Birthdays for me. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Birthdays for her. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no names.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie here. No, it's not Name That Movie. It's Famous Birthdays. Do you know why I just said it's Name That Movie? Because I was just looking up a movie. So I couldn't separate the two over there. And Chris says, I remember the movie with Adam Sandler. Oh, the one I'm talking about is from 1979. So I don't know. Adam Sandler was pretty young. Maybe they made a remake of it. But the movie, I never know where to find it in Spanish. Let's see. The Jerk. 1979, starring Steve Martin, Bernadette Peters, and I'll give you the synopsis. A simple-minded, sencillo, en el sentido tontorrón, a simple-minded, sheltered country boy, un chico del campo, sheltered, muy protegido del mundo, suddenly decides to leave his family home to experience life in the big city, where his naivete is both his best friend and his worst enemy. So there you go. It's a classic comedy movie. In fact, the rating is 7.1. Think about that. It came out in 1979. I was 2 years old, and it still has a popularity, a rating of 7.1. It stars Steve Martin, as I said before, and it's called The Jerk. And if you see his character, although I'll tell you something, Chris, Adam Sandler sometimes plays a jerk as well. All right, let's take a look at our famous birthdays. Number 1, this guy was born in 1968 today. He's an American actor, I should say was. He hasn't been in many movies recently. Also, he was a comedian as well, but he was known more in the 1990s. At the age of 17, he became an MTV VJ, right? An MTV VJ. And it's interesting because this guy is the son of Sammy and Mitzi. Now, Sammy and Mitzi, I won't say their last names, pero es Orilla del Mar. And why are Sammy and Mitzi famous? Well, in the world of comedy, they're like the gods. And you're thinking, I've never heard their comedy. No, they're not necessarily comedians. They are the owners, the founders of the famous Comedy Store in Los Angeles. So this is a place where many, many comedians have come out of. And his parents started the club. So do you understand why he was famous now? You get why he got the job on MTV and why he was a stand-up comedian, even though he wasn't really good? At least I don't think so. Well, you might recognize him from his starring role in Encino Man in 1992, which was today's Name That Movie. He was also in Son-in-Law, where he played a son-in-law, un yerno, you say, who was a jerk. Speaking of jerks, he was in Biodome in 1996, and honestly, his career just faded into oblivion. Desvaneció en la nada, right? And now I don't know if he's got a podcast. I'm sure he's still on the scene over there, but the thing is, this is where having influential parents can help you. Because if he was really talented and not just a flash in the pan, a flash in the pan is something or someone that's famous really quickly and then disappears, right? And I always say, if you're really, really talented, then you have that staying power. Then you're like Tina Turner. Then you're like the Rolling Stones and, Green Day. I'm not putting them in the same category, but Green Day, they started making music decades ago, and they're still touring and putting out new album. Good, pretty good, by the way, the new Green Day album. So I always applaud these people. This other guy, as I said, he's kind of famous now for being a has-been. A has-been, ¿te sabes esta? A has-been, un ha sido, un ya no es, no? A has-been. All right, and next up, this person was born in 1937, an American singer, songwriter, and guitarist, and he was half of the duo, the Everly Brothers. So I guess that's his last name? Mm-hmm. So which one is he? The Everly Brothers. And he was the older brother of the two. He was born in Brownie, Kentucky. Then they moved to Knoxville, Tennessee. Those sound like different planets to me, to be honest. And then they started a group together, these brothers, and they mixed a lot of music. It was rock and roll, country, pop. They became the pioneers of what was known as country rock as well. And some of their songs, well, Bye Bye Love. You've got Wake Up Little Susie, Wake Up Little Susie. That's a classic one. All I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream when I'm with you. In my heart, whenever I want you, all I have to do his dream. And they've got so many other songs that I'm sure you guys are definitely familiar with. A duo of brothers over there. And last but not least, this person was born in 1938, an American actor and singer. He was known for his role as George Jefferson on the CBS series on American television, All in the Family. It was a very famous sitcom with Archie Bunker. He was the lead character. And he was the neighbor. And there was a spin-off that came from it called The Jeffersons. So you had All in the Family. This is a classic American sitcom from 1973 to 1975. And then from 1975 to 1985, he was George Jefferson in the very popular show called The Jeffersons. And I'm not talking about Jetson. I'm talking about Jefferson. What else? He played a deacon, decano, you say? In a series called Amen, which I remember as a kid too, which was from 1986 to 1991. Extremely talented actor, singer, dancer. He's done a little bit of everything. Let's see. Speaking of talented, Chris Valrol figuring out today's famous birthdays. Excellent job, Chris. Number 1, Pauly Shore. And if you want to know the story of the comedy, the Comedy Store? Well, that's the story of his parents starting one of the most famous comedy clubs in the world. So his parents are more famous, even though he was more famous because he was on MTV during the 90s. His parents now, their legacy is more famous than he'll ever be. It's interesting how life takes a lot of twists and turns, doesn't it? So Pauly Shore, number 2, Don Everly, and number 3, Sherman Hemsley, who played George Jefferson. And let's take a look over here. George Jefferson is today's Say What soundbite. It's Sherman Hemsley playing his most famous role, George Jefferson. And he says, all kidding aside, dejemos bromas aparte. All kidding aside, okay? The trouble with being a brother, and here, let me explain something. A lot of you thought he meant a brother like hermano. Here he means a black man, because they sometimes, you're my brother. So in this case, he's not saying hermano like, we have the same father or mother. He's saying el problema con ser negro, is what he's saying. The problem with being a brother is that sometimes you can't always say the things that you really feel, right? No puedes decir las cosas que sientes. Like how good it is to have somebody around to rap to. And he doesn't mean rap like, yo, his palms are sweaty, knees weak. To rap es hablar también. It was good rapping with you. Me alegró hablar contigo un poco. Es otra forma de decir hablar, charlar, to rap. So he goes, like how good it is to have somebody around to rap to. Con quien hablar. Somebody to pick you up para levantarte. When you're so low, cuando estás tan bajo, that you have to reach up to touch bottom. And reminds me of that idiomatic expression, to hit rock bottom, tocar fondo. All right, here he is, our birthday boy playing George Jefferson.
All kidding aside, the trouble with being a brother is that sometimes you can't always say the things that you really feel. Like how good it is to have somebody around to rap to, somebody to kind of pick you up, when you're so low that you have to reach up to touch bottom.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And thank you. Thank you so much, my amigos. It's been an absolute pleasure. You did a wonderful job. You should be proud of yourselves. So keep up the great work. After today's show, stay tuned right now because I'm going to leave you in great hands with Ximena Holiday. And there's a little surprise with Ximena Holiday in the near future, but I can't let the cat out of the bag yet. I'm sorry, I can't. I'd love to, but I can't. But stay tuned. That's another reason to follow us on social media, not just Vaughn, but follow Ximena, follow me, follow Kyle, Rob. We're all on social media and use it pretty regularly. All right, let's take a look at today's song. This is the Everly Brothers, and the song is called Bird Dog. Bird Dog. Lo has oído bien. Bird Dog es pájaro perro. And the song goes like this. Johnny is a joker. Johnny is a joker. Es un bromista. He's a very funny joker. Es uno gracioso, a very funny one. But when he jokes, my honey, pero cuando bromea, cariño mío, but when he jokes, my honey, his joking ain't so funny. Sus chistes no son tan graciosos. Johnny is a joker that's trying to steal my baby. Wow, this just took a dark turn here. Johnny sings a love song, canta una canción de amor. But when he sings to my gal is another way of saying my girl. When he sings to my gal, to me, he's just a wolf dog. So this guy's obsessed with putting animals' names with dogs. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to the song together. If you'd like to look up the lyrics, it's Bird Dog by the Everly Brothers. Thank you so much for being here today and every day, amigos. We'll be back tomorrow with more. I promise. Ciao. Woo!